Before we get into this story of the game of what actually happened, we have to go into the backstory of this game, okay? Listen, Lamar Jackson never beaten the Chiefs in his career. 0-3 to start off his career against Patrick Mahomes. So this was the big narrative. Lamar Jackson cannot beat Patrick Mahomes. Oh, and on top of that, what did people also used to say? Lamar Jackson cannot come back from a double-point deficit with his arm. What else did they say? Oh, if they're down in a game, they lost. They can't come back. It's impossible. There's so many narratives that were smashed last night, and I loved every freaking second of it. I really did. Honestly, man, I said it yesterday on Twitter. I think this might be one of the best Ravens games I have ever watched in my life. Seriously. I don't know if it's like the top tier because obviously like it does mean a lot even though it's just a regular season game and it doesn't necessarily have that much of a huge necessarily that big of a deal when it comes to like the playoffs, moving on to the Super Bowl or anything like that. But it just was such a huge game for the fact that we could never beat the Chiefs and the way that we freaking beat the Chiefs, the way that we overcame all those obstacles that came against us, it was just a phenomenal performance, man. And I am so hyped. Now, everybody's going to say, obviously, the Mile High Miracle was probably the best Ravens game that people have seen. I still say that's probably up there, but this one, man, this one has to go up there for me. This is one of the best Ravens games I have ever watched. And just for the way for it to end, man, it was just incredible. It was incredible. So, the game started off terribly. Terribly if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan. If you're a Ravens fan, you watch Lamar Jackson throw that pick six. And it was just absolutely shattering. It killed the mood. I know I was like, oh my God, this is going to come back to bite us. This is it. This is the end of the game. If it's a 6-point game, the Chiefs just won because they got free points on the board. You cannot just hand the Chiefs points. Lamar Jackson threw that pick six. He was throwing at Sammy Watkins. I guess he thought Sammy Watkins was going to keep running up the field. I don't know, maybe like a miscommunication there. The fact of the matter is Tyrann Mathieu was right there. The Honey Badger was there to pick it off, and he ran it back in for the touchdown. Just a terrible play. And you come right back out. The Ravens come back out on offense. They actually get a drive going after the pick six, and they tie the game up. It was a touchdown drive. Lamar made some nice throws there. Good running plays there with Tyson Williams, mixing a little bit of Devontae Freeman here and there, and Latavius Murray got in there as well. And then Tyson Williams gets down to the goal line, fumbles at the 1-yard line, and Devin Duvernay is somehow right there to get the ball, and they punch it into the end zone. That could have been catastrophic. Do you understand how freaking crazy that was? The fact that Devin Duvernay was right there to score the touchdown for us, man. Big heads-up play from Devin Duvernay. I wish we could implement Devin Duvernay a little bit more into the offense, but thank God that he was right there to just punch it in right there, right? So at that point, the game is 7-7. The Chiefs come back out. This is their first offensive drive of the game. They get the ball, and Patrick Mahomes throws a beautiful deep ball to Demarcus Robinson. And who was right there that just could not make a play on the ball? It was Marlon Humphrey. Everybody talking trash about Marlon Humphrey after what happened, right? Listen, in my opinion, that was just a great play by Demarcus Robinson. I don't believe that there's much more than Marlon Humphrey could have done on that play. Now, you could argue he got a little bit burnt. Demarcus Robinson got behind Marlon Humphrey, and Humphrey had to try to recover, but he made a good recovery. He was actually able to make a play on the ball. But the fact of the matter is Demarcus Robinson just made a better play, and he hauled it in. And it was a touchdown. What are you going to do about that, man? Honestly, I'm not going to fault Marlon Humphrey for that. You know, a lot of people are talking trash about Humphrey for that, but in my opinion, there's not really much you can do there. And then the Chiefs go up, of course, 14-7. In reality, it should have been 7-7 at that point, because if it wasn't for the pick six, the Chiefs would have only been tied with the Baltimore Ravens there 7-7, but alas, it is 14-7 thanks to Lamar spotting them 6 points. Then the very next drive, Lamar throws another pick. This time, there's no excuse for it. It was a terrible pick. It was a terrible pick on 3rd and 14. It was a deep ball to Hollywood Brown. Are we good? Are we still on? Because it's showing me that we have bad connection. Okay. We're fairly good. All right. We're all right. I think we should be all right. Anyway. So the next drive, there's no excuse for this pick. There's just no excuse for this pick. Lamar Jackson misread the defense. He thought that the safeties were coming down to blitz, I guess, and he just threw it up there for Hollywood, and it was in triple coverage. Terrible throw, terrible decision. Lamar gets picked off a second time in the first quarter. And after this, I said, this is Lamar Jackson's worst game as a passer that I've seen. And that goes back to his rookie year. As soon as I saw that second pick, I'm like, nah, man, this isn't it. Lamar's just having a bad game. What are you going to do? And then he comes back and he puts the damn team on his back. But we'll get to that right now. So after that pick, again, no excuse for it. The Chiefs, they come back in. And at this point, you're thinking, okay, it's 14-7. Here come the Chiefs. They're going to score again, right? Because we're just incapable of stopping these damn Chiefs from scoring the ball. But then a bad snap happens. A bad snap, and the Chiefs never make a mistake, especially against the Ravens. So you see this bad snap, they get backed up to their own end zone, and it's like 3rd and 39 or something. And of course, you have to make that play. And luckily, the Ravens did. They stop the Chiefs, they get the ball back, and on offense, they do nothing. So at this point, you're like getting frustrated. Ravens offense has to wake up. They need to score, right? Luckily, again, the Chiefs on the very next drive get stopped again. And then the Ravens come back, tie the game up with a touchdown drive with Latavius Murray. He punches it into the end zone. At this point, it's 14-14 in the second quarter. And then, right before the half, what do great teams always do? What do you always hear like the Patriots and Tom Brady talk about? You got to score before the half. And that's exactly what the Chiefs did. They came in and they scored a touchdown right before the half. I believe it was a touchdown run with Williams. I'm not sure of his first name. Darrell Williams, is it? Anyway, with one of their running backs. And that was 21-14 before the half. The Ravens get the ball back. At this point, you're thinking, are the Ravens going to be conservative? Are they at least going to try to get into field goal range? And they did. And they successfully were able to get into field goal range. And let's not forget that crazy hurdle for Mark Andrews to actually get out of bounds to stop the clock, which allowed the Ravens to run one more play to get closer to field goal range. Mark Andrews made a play. Now, it's not going to be, it's not a huge play. It's not a big highlight play or anything like that. Darrell Williams. Thank you, Mills. I appreciate that. It is Darrell Williams. Okay. But that type of play is not going to be brought up, on ESPN or in a highlight package necessarily. But that was huge. For Mark Andrews to actually make that play, as insignificant as it might have seemed, that was actually huge in order for us to get back into this game. 21-17 going into halftime. Come back out. The Chiefs get the ball. And what happens? They come out and immediately score a touchdown with Byron Pringle. And the Ravens, this is the first time this happens tonight, well, that night, where they forgot how to tackle. They just did not tackle Byron Pringle. Byron Pringle goes in and scores a touchdown, makes it 28-17. And at this point, at least for me, I'm thinking, oh my God, it's over. This is it. The Chiefs are about to explode. We're not going to be able to score on offense. It's done. But then what happens? Lamar freaking Jackson comes out, puts the team on his back, throws a jump pass, touchdown to Hollywood freaking Brown. And what a play, man. Absolutely insane play to bring the Ravens back into this game, make it 28-24. And that was just a huge momentum shifter. 28-24, the Ravens are in this game. And I mean, Lamar just makes these crazy plays that just make you baffled. Like, I was just laughing hysterically after I saw that he was literally up in the air and threw a pass to Hollywood Brown in the air. It was just pure arm strength. And he got it there, and Hollywood, of course, did the rest. Just a freaking incredible freaking play. And then what happens? The very next drive, once again, we're thinking, oh no, here come the Chiefs. Mahomes, crazy freaking play, rolls to the right, as we've seen multiple times, throws it to Travis Kelce. Should have been a modest gain. Should have only been a first down at most, like a 6-7 yard gain. But then what happens? The Ravens once again forget how to freaking tackle, and Kelce just eludes the entire defense. Like, if there was 12 men on the defense, it would not have mattered because Kelce got past all of them. And he goes in for the touchdown, making it 35-24. And then following that, Lamar Jackson on our offensive drive gets sacked on 3rd and 8. And at this point, I'm just thinking, oh no, it's about to get ugly, right? But then once again, sometimes you just need miracles to happen. You just need magic to happen. And on the very next Chiefs offensive drive, Patrick Mahomes, on 3rd down, gets pressured by a little man by the name of Odafe Owe. And we're going to talk about him a lot later. 0099, as I have nicknamed him, gets to Mahomes, almost brings him down, but as Mahomes is getting right down to the floor, he decides to throw it up to Travis Kelce, who is right there to get the ball. It's Tavon Young. He makes a play. It's an interception. The Ravens get the ball in the Chiefs' territory. What a huge play from the defense to keep the Ravens in the damn game. And then Lamar took over, man. It was a run-in for a touchdown. It became 35-30. They go for the 2-point conversion. They get it. He throws it to Hollywood Brown. He gets the 2-point conversion. And then it's a BS call for, illegal man downfield or something like that. And he was literally 1 yard into the end zone, bro. And Zeitler just fell forward and happened to be in the end zone, like by 1 foot. It was absolutely ridiculous. I hated it, but regardless, it's 35-30. Give the ball back to the Chiefs. So, and then after that, the Chiefs come back. It's 3rd and 9. Mahomes, just like he always tends to do, throws it up to Tyreek Hill. And Anthony Averett comes up huge with a pass breakup on Tyreek Hill. Double A. Listen, I have got to give props to Anthony Averett because I talked a lot of trash about him. I didn't think he was going to make the 53-man roster, but thank God he did, and thank God he proved me wrong because, my God, the man balled out last night. And then the Ravens come back after that play made by Anthony Averett. Comes in, Lamar scores another touchdown, rushing touchdown, and he flips into the end zone with like a side cartwheel aerial type of thing. It was just insane. Goes up 36-35. We go for the 2-point conversion. We miss it, and that's how it stays. It's 36-35, but that does not mean that the game is over, ladies and gentlemen. No, because there is still 3 minutes left on the clock with Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense on the other side. And then another miracle happens because Patrick Mahomes just started picking apart the Ravens defense with little to no issue. He was picking them apart, driving down the field. And then Andy Reid decided to run the football. He decided to hand the ball off to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And what happened on that magical play on 2nd and 3? Odafe Owe 0099 comes up huge and forces a fumble and recovers the fumble with 1 minute and a half left. And just a freaking clutch, insane play from a guy that everybody said was a waste of a first-round pick. Maybe even I said that at one point. So, and then, of course, the final nail in the coffin. It goes to 4th and 1. John Harbaugh, in Ravens territory, by the way. John Harbaugh asks Lamar Jackson, "You want to go for this?" And what does Lamar say? "Hell yeah, coach, let's go for it." And Lamar gets that 1 yard, and we get the freaking W, man. Finally, after all these years, we finally beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and Lamar Jackson finally gets one on Patrick Mahomes. What a freaking game that was. What a freaking game that was.